I just didn't. Hi, buddy. We're talking about the blogger who wrote Lindy West, who wrote the thing on rape jokes, and I debated her on Kamau Bell. So now the fans are attacking her and saying, "I hope you get raped."
That's crazy, though.
And it's like, again, I don't tell people, "Don't say that, guys," because I say horrible shit. But you're not helping the cause. And she's not some dumbbell who is saying that comedians should be arrested. So don't address it. Like, if she was saying, hey, if you do a rape joke, you should not be allowed to do comedy ever, I'd say fucking take the gloves off and be barbaric.
But I'm almost not understanding what her point even is then. Like you're saying her point isn't you should stop doing that. Yeah, that. Like what? Her point was just, hey, in my opinion, I don't find it funny. That's not much of a debate.
Well,
really.
she's performed stand up. You know, she does a thing because she's fat, and she's did a thing on being fat, and then dealing with people who attack her online for being fat. And I saw this stand up thing she did, and it was actually thoughtful. And you know, look, I'm not saying she's Joan Rivers at this point, but you can see that she's got something funny to say, and she's got I liked her more than I thought I would. And she was introspective and talked about it and how people are lonely and that's why they attack you. Like, she went somewhere with it. So she understands comedy. Her thing is, hey, look, this contributes to a rape culture. Well, this whole thing where the victim is the thing. She's like, there's rape victims in the audience, and you're basically saying... But it's like, I can't think that way because...
Of course not.
I mentioned the fact that Kamau did a very funny thing about that teapot that we talked about, the Hitler teapot.
Yeah.
Right.
And I referenced that, and I'm like, of course you didn't mean that, but there are people that see Hitler and all of a sudden find that very offensive. So it's like, where do we stop, basically? Like, why is the Holocaust okay, but rape victims...
And every joke you tell, I mean, someone is close to that.
Offended.
Close to that in the audience, right?
Why don't people with an agenda like that understand that they're not the only people that feel that comedy is offensive if you talk about this, that? Don't they understand that you are merely a cog?
Yeah.
That given what she says, if everyone adhered to her wishes and everyone else's wishes, there would be no comedy.
But why don't they understand the basics? That if you tell a rape joke, that doesn't mean you're for rape,
right?
Or
why don't people understand that
and
shit?
Start raping people?
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Why do they make that huge leap and assume that, oh, wow, I guess rape's okay then if you're joking about it? No, it's two different fucking things.
And she said that and again, she's right. There are people in the audience who have been raped, and she's saying that. But part of comedy.
Well, when you're talking about fucking Paterno and all that, there's fucking people in the audience that were touched as kids.
That were molested, yes.
Every joke you make is going to affect someone personally. It's going to bring back something.
Yeah. Especially if it's about a difficult subject.
That doesn't mean that you're telling people to go touch kids just because you have some good kid-touching jokes.
And it doesn't normalize it or make it okay if people laugh at it. That's another myth, that by laughing at it, you're normalizing it, and by normalizing it, that contributes to rape culture.
Oh, boy.
But, I mean, that's what the thought process is, and I just don't agree with it.
Well, that's just stupidity.
I get what she's saying.
In the end, that's just stupidity.
I don't agree with her.
No, and no one should agree with that.
Or anything
That'll shut down comedy. That'll shut down stand-up.
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
And I quoted Matt and Trey, and I said, I gave them credit. They said it's either all okay or none of it's okay.
Of course.
And there was people online who did not agree with that. They're like, no. There's like certain feminists or certain special interest people.
Yeah.
That they're never going to agree with you because the underlying point is that I don't like what you're saying.
Right.
And that's all it comes down to.
But you shouldn't care if they never agree with you.
No, I don't.
But you should be able to continue doing what you do.
Yeah, but I didn't want to say to her, we were debating. She was actually, again, when she was saying, like, hey, you can say what you want, but I can call you a dick. She wasn't saying, hey, Jim Norton, you're a dick. She was, again, using you as, like, I can call you, meaning whoever. We were just the ones debating each other. She wasn't attacking my comedy.
I do agree with that.
I agree, too.
But I get scared that, you get enough people involved, and they will start fucking pressuring the club owners to maybe make a rule or two, here and there.
Well, that's what you don't want.
No, of course not. That's what you're defending in the end.
Jafaka?
Yeah. No,
Nice.
I did end the segment. I did end the segment by saying that she and I should make out, and the crowd kind of laughed. And she was
funny.
But I would just ask people, if you're going to say things on YouTube, hey, look, again, do what you feel is right, but
we like when we see the intelligent comments.
There's no need to attack her like
Something nice about that.
Because she did show, the point I made too, she showed up for a debate. She didn't blog anonymously. She wrote it as herself with her real picture.
Right, she's not hiding.
She's not hiding. She fucking came. She gave her real name, her real opinion. She had thoughts behind what she said that we just didn't agree on. But you know, she fucking came for the debate, man. There's no need to be that brutal. I didn't want to tell her to go fuck herself. I just didn't like her point, and she didn't like mine. That was it.
All right.
So, please,
With that,
guys.
we have Kevin Smith in studio.
Yes.
Hey, can I add my 2 cents?
Sure.
If you're a fan, never go and speak on behalf of somebody you like with the illest tongue and the worst grammar. If you're a fan, you just present the best you possibly can. If you're a fan of these guys and you want to go on the defensive or on the offensive defensive and attack people who attack the people you like, just make sure it's ironclad and watertight. Don't give anyone the slightest pause to be like they misspelled cock. Get it all right, and then
two Q's.
You've
I got a line when it comes to humor, though. Rape jokes. I'm not saying they shouldn't do them, but that's where I kind of go.
That's
It might be because I have a
everyone has-
daughter. It wasn't before I had a kid. It never really occurred to me, and I wasn't out there going like, "Listen to this fucking latest rape joke." But it wasn't like once I had a daughter, suddenly I had a line.
I got to add to that, since being a father, the kid stuff is a little rough for me. But I'm not going to fucking tell people they shouldn't do it.
My wife on the
But
other
that's my
hand,
sensitive
holy
area.
crap,
Huh?
She'll tell you not to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh God.
Yeah, but that's my
Oh, God.
that's sort of a little line I got now where like, and I don't dig it as much as I used to, but I'm not going to be the guy saying, "Oh, we got to stop this." Fuck
You're
that.
just saying for you when you reach into your
Yeah,
quiver,
we all
it's
have
not
our
gonna
fucking
be
lines.
Kid fucking joke.
Of course not.
How's everybody doing, man?
Good, very
good,
good,
Kevin.
I'm sure you've already discussed Michael Douglas.
No, we
haven't.
We've had a busy morning.
The fuck out of here. Why? There's something happened that I don't know about.
No.
Because
No,
this is the
really.
biggest news in the
we were
world.
waiting
to
for
me. It's
you.
on the cover of the Post.
We were waiting for you. We were talking about tornadoes and
It's huge.
I guess there's that shit as
robot arms that was on 60 Minutes last night.
What, eating the chocolate?
Did you see the 60 Minutes piece
I
on the
read a
new
piece
robotic arm?
Yeah, where the lady was. Is this the lady who is quadriplegic?
She can't fucking.
And they put
yes.
diodes in her head, and now she's
like
feeding herself
Matrix shit
chocolate.
in her
Yeah.
head. And
Pretty fucked
That's
up.
the beginning of the cybernetic revolution. The
Yes.
first, I mean, I'm not going to say she's the first fucking cyborg, but that is
We're getting
what
there.
cybernetics are. That's
Right.
bionics right there.
We're going to see some shit before our lives pass us by. If we're lucky enough to.
Motherfuckers in giant spider
right.
and Wild Wild West. Just before, my friend Walter Flanagan, the dude on Comic Book Man, is always going like, I really hope that there are aliens, and I really hope I see it in my lifetime, them landing, and I really hope it's the day I die, and I really hope they're fully armed. Wow. He's just like, I just want it to be so true, and they're hostile. He's going, but I don't want to live through it.
The funny thing about the robotic arm, like it moves just like your arm would with the same exact pressure and stuff. And we're sitting here going, they're going to modify that shit, and that's going to be just a bionic arm, crushing shit.
Yeah, why would it have to just be as strong as your regular
Right.
hand? You can make that fucking
When you
thing.
could tweak it just slightly and go, yeah, I want a little more straight.
Totally, where you can just, I'm picking up a tractor and throwing it at you, Batman.
Right. That's where we're heading.
hack that shit.
But what you're talking about, Michael Douglas came out today. It's everywhere that basically he got throat cancer from eating pussy.
That's what he said.
Let's break
what he
it down.
says.
Let's break it down.
It's on the cover of the. I couldn't
They're
believe
being
when
careful.
I got to
They're
New York,
calling it
was on the
oral
cover.
sex and this and that. But
What he maintains, somebody asked him in an interview, like, well, were you sad or did you regret doing all that smoking and drinking when, he had throat cancer for a while there? And he kind of said, well, it wasn't that.
Like,
I got
what?
it from eating, well, he didn't say eating pussy, but essentially he's like, I got it from eating pussy. I got it from oral sex. It's an HPV virus that is contracted usually or mostly through oral sex, male to female or someone to female oral sex.
Where does that HPV hang out? Is it when you go real deep with the tongue, or is it on the outside? I need to know.
Where does it hang?
Where does it hang out, Kevin?
That's what's fascinating.
Oh, I'm the only
to
one
me.
thinking that shit.
How deep is it? Where is it? What's it look like? How can we identify
Is it right on the
Yeah.
clit, or is it kind of
Can
deep
we
in
put
there?
a blue dye in there so
Right.
it
On the
shows up
cervix?
like in
So
the
maybe we
pool?
can avoid where that HPV is hanging
But
out.
the weird part of the story is, like, what? Unless he goes deeper, explains it further. Did he get it from Catherine
That's
Zeta-Jones?
That's what we were saying before the show.
Or was he
Before the
going
show.
like back in the day before
Right,
I married her? I was eating all
Because
sorts
she's
of pussy.
basically telling the world that she's got diseased pussy.
Yeah, look out.
I mean, I don't want to be that person, but I
But
mean,
it's
that's
true.
how
Yeah.
He's not-
it plays. I know that's not the case.
But he's not explaining yet, so that's what we have to assume.
Yes.
But he did come out and say he was a sex addict for a while, right?
Yeah, oh God!
But he
yeah.
didn't
He went
say,
away.
you
He
know.
was married to.
So maybe he should
Leander
fucking
at one point.
yeah.
And then she cheated on her mercilessly, and then went to. He was the first person I think I ever heard of went to rehab for sex.
Sex addiction. But now you got to think, if anything ever happens between him and Catherine Zeta-Jones, she's out on the dating scene, and guys just like, yeah.
I'm not going down there.
I ain't fucking going down there. Kill cancer pussy.
Man, only a year ago she was like a goddess, and now she's like a crazy bitch with possibly a diseased pussy.
Oh my god.
I thought that was such a bizarre
That's
admission,
a fall from
though.
grace.
It is.
Although it's kind of the admission that like makes you look smooth.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, you know, I got cancer.
That's
Eating
kinda
pussy
cool.
a
I ate
lot.
so much pussy.
Oh God, I can't stop eating
Yeah,
pussy.
yeah.
If I ate so much pussy attacked me and gave me cancer. That's how much I love pussy.
Pussy hits back.
You think there's a Yul Brynner commercial in his future?
He's like, I'm Michael Douglas and I passed. Stop
Yeah.
eating pussy.
Right. Remember that famous commercial?
Right. You know that when that story hit, like every woman in the world was like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, yeah.
It's hard enough to get him to eat a pussy, and now
Yeah.
you're scaring him away with cancer. Tell him there's a cancer cluster in my vag.
You know, the black guys don't have this problem.
No,
They don't
never.
eat the coots.
Is that true? I think everyone eats pussy.
Yeah, yeah.
I think even gay dudes eat pussy.
I think that's.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, nobody ate pussy, but now everybody eats
Is
pussy.
this the commercial? I'm dead now. Yeah, listen to this.
This is spooky, man.
It is.
Ladies and gentlemen, the late Yul Brynner.
65 years old.
I really wanted to make a commercial when I discovered that I was that sick and my time was so limited. I wanted to make that commercial that says simply, now that I'm gone, I tell you, don't smoke.
Don't eat pussy.
Whatever you do, just don't smoke.
Poor guy.
says,
That
it
chemo
says,
gave him a full head of hair. That's terrible.
Wow, man.
It's also
Yeah.
kind of like, now that I'm gone, now that I smoked a lot,
Right.
Yeah.
you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah, it's easy to say that.
He didn't look that unhealthy, too. Like,
No.
I know that wasn't shot on his deathbed, but
1985.
I guess because he had the kind of that look, you know.
and he
had
was
a
just
look,
like,
man.
look, I got cancer the fucking straight old-fashioned way.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know there was an alternate route, Michael Douglas.
Getting some. some of
Nobody
that
told us
pussy
that,
licking.
that was possible.
Fuck, that's a crazy story, though. That HPV. We only learned about that a year or two, that you could get maybe cancer from
Really?
it. Yeah.
Throat cancer.
That's very
Throat
new.
cancer. That's very new. I'm telling you.
What do you think that is? Now, presumably
I don't
men have
know.
been, well, everyone's been eating pussy for eons. Right.
Fuck yeah, right, Kev?
Heavens, yeah, right here.
Fuck
boy.
yeah.
We love
I
it.
eat
Five
pussy
years
like
old.
We
it's
don't even
going
care.
out
We love
style.
it.
Make
Ladies, you
that
listening?
Coda. Fuck yeah. I'm right in there. I'll eat
wet
your
up in my
fucking
face.
pussy so sloppy.
I wear it like a mask. I look like Nine Numb from fucking Return of the Jedi. I'm eating so much pussy.
Fuck yeah. Put your asshole over my forehead and plop that cunt on my mouth, ladies. Fuck yeah.
Wow.
But do you remember when we were younger? Were you one of a few, Norton, that ate pussy? Sorry, may I pull you out of your vag?
Yes,
and
I
just
love
come-
eating pussy. I really do.
But when you were younger, were you one of the only few?
I see where you're going here.
When I was a kid, you would talk to your friends about like eating pussy and be like,
Yeah.
"Ew." It was like in The Sopranos when
Right.
when his
Junior.
uncle,
Uncle
when Junior
June.
was talking about eating pussy
But that's because of what it looked like back then.
because of the bush and shit.
Holy
You're
fuck.
saying once
You
they
had
got
a- you
into
had-
the land of like
Well, we've done this
virgin
bit-
smoothies and no
yeah,
egg
you
strips.
didn't know
We've
any
done this bit a
different.
million times, but you had to fucking
I
find
like that.
It was like
find it.
somebody went in and took the jungle down. So we could see
Yeah.
what was going on.
Deforestation.
It's true. If you look at like 70s Playboy and whatnot, it's a
Oh,
hair
they all
bikini
had
down
big
there.
fucking muffs. But we didn't know any better. You didn't not go down on someone because it was hairy, because there was no alternative.
Yeah, right.
There's simply no alternative.
And what? But there was no education either. Nobody ever said like, "Hey,
no.
you should go. You should do something for her."
I was doing
Yeah,
that
yeah.
from way I loved my face by a girl's ass. Like I was oral as a kid.
Yeah.
So for me, it wasn't like the pussy eating. What are you doing? It was more about the ass eating and the urination stuff. That started early on. They were like, "What are you doing? Just lick it."
How old were
Be
you?
a person.
How old were you when you first licked pussy?
Oh, I was just a very, very young. But then as a young teenager, I was
How
eating
old?
it. I'm going to guess second or third grade.
Holy fuck.
What on the rag or just like every once in a while?
No, rag I
by a
don't like.
doctor?
No,
Oh.
just with my friends. Me and my friends would blow each other. So when a pussy showed up, I was like, what am I, of course? I'm not gay. I might as well.
I
First
got
or
you.
second grade?
Yeah. I was
That's
young.
early.
Yeah.
I remember playing around with this girl, Carrie, and this other dude behind Kevin Horvath's apartment building, which my mom called the penitentiary, which I didn't. I thought that's what it was for years. And I remember passing another apartment complex later in life, and I was like, "Oh, there's one of them penitentiaries," and people were like, "That's
What?
really fucking thoughtless."
Yeah, that really
And I
is
was
a
like, well,
horrible
that's what
thing
my
to
mother.
say.
And then I looked it up, and I was like, "Oh, So anyway, behind his apartment, man, there was this alleyway, and it was me and this girl and this dude was like instructing us, he was directing us what to do, and he was just like, put your mouth on her pussy, and I was 6, so I didn't know.
Oh man,
I didn't know, get in there and gently caress, and he was like, suck. I didn't even know
How
the
old
difference
was
between
he?
sucking and biting. Same age.
Oh, okay.
And he wasn't involved. The weird thing is he was very like, I'll direct, but I ain't doing
yeah, he was
How
doing
old-
something
and how
that
old was
he had
she?
seen other
She was
people
6, same
do.
age. We were both the same
I
age.
can't imagine this.
He didn't try jamming his dick in there?
No.
What's wrong with him?
Again, he was more of a like, I'm creepy.
Yeah, because someone tells me he was being directed at some other point in his life
Might have been, now that
by
I think
somebody.
about it,
Yeah, that was his chance
That's true,
to
because
have
where does
the
a
power.
6-year-old get that?
No, you don't.
Put your mouth on her
Right.
pussy or whatever.
Yeah.
You said it that.
I'm embarrassed to say I was 18.
First time?
You lick
Yep.
pussy?
Yep.
She was 6,
Yep.
but he was only. Terrible.
No, I come from a very strict household, man. And man, I don't even think I had a
And your
fucking
mom was like, not till you're 18, you piece of
all
shit.
that,
Yeah.
all
Smell
that
your breath
shit.
when you come home? All right.
Yeah, are you out there eating pussy? Like,
Dude,
no.
I lost my virginity and all that shit when I was 18, freshman in college.
So it wasn't until you got
And
out
I
of
was a
town.
good-looking dude, too,
Fuck yeah, man.
So I didn't have a problem.
Still are.
a good-looking dude with a mom with an iron fist.
Dude, fuck.
Yeah, look
Curfew
out.
and
An
all
even
that
more
shit.
iron fist, I would
Horrible
imagine.
curfews. I mean, we couldn't stay out or nothing.
Did they bust your ass if they caught you jerking off, or were they like, don't touch yourself?
No.
They're like, you can touch yourself, but no one
No,
else is allowed to touch.
no, my household, we just never talked about it.
Really?
No, man. No.
My old man tried to talk about it at one point with me.
How'd that
You
go?
know about hard-ons? I was like, I do. Let's not have this conversation at all.
Yeah, we're done here.
I tell the story. They showed the film when we were in 6th grade, and then they told us when you get home, we told your parents that you've seen the film today, so if you have any questions. So I came home, my dad right away was like, so how was the film? And I ran up, and this is a true story, ran up into our apple tree, and I stayed up there. I didn't want, and I'm like, Dad, I don't want to fucking talk about it.
This is like something out of fucking Andy Griffith.
I know,
Of course
that
was.
is-
It was just
absolutely.
so awkward.
Or the Bad News Bears when Ahmad went up in the tree. and
right.
whatnot.
Yeah.
Because there was no talk of sexual shit in my house, so all of a sudden at 12, you're going to talk about this stuff to me? Because
Freak
12,
you out.
12 was pretty old back then.
Bless you. Yeah.
There was shit going around you were learning all sorts of shit, and none of it, came into the household for discussion. So I ran up into that tree like, no fucking way. And then eventually we did talk about some
You were
shit.
like, there's truth in this tree. Why did you,
I know. Why
not
an
just
apple
go up to
tree?
your
But
room?
it was
Why
just
the
like
tree?
we didn't have that relationship, or we weren't that open as far as that shit goes. So now all of a sudden, no, give me a little time to fucking think about what I just saw at the school.
They're like, look.
And I think I came down. We did end up talking that day or the next day. It was fine.
How old were you the
only-
first time you got blown? Were you 18 when you first time you
all
got
that, everything, man. Yeah.
Was it all the same day?
Yeah, one great
You're
afternoon.
like, you're like one of those, what are they, the Quaker, not the Quakers, what are they
The
called?
fucking
Yeah,
Amish?
the Amish.
Amish where they got Rumspringa.
Yeah,
they're able to just go out.
I'm doing it all.
I can understand that shit because when I got away from the strict household and went far away to college, yeah, it was a whole new world. Like Ant talks about Wizard of Oz going to color.
Yeah, when you
I
fucking.
was like, holy fuck!
Oh, it's
Look at the shit I
wonderful.
could do now.
Yeah.
Yeah, man,
That shit was great.
it was definitely cool.
If I was your parents, I would have been like, not only is this kid fucking obviously undereducated about sex, he doesn't even know where his fucking room is.
He's just climbing a tree.
Why are
What
you
the
in the
fuck?
tree? That's the thing that captures
But I also
my
did.
imagination.
I also
Yeah.
never looked my age. I always looked way younger than I was. Finally, when I turned 18, I finally fucking grew, and the hormones kicked in. Finally, so I was way behind always.
Whoever took you
Always.
first must have been like, you're kidding. Nobody? No one? Not even a hand job? You're like, nothing.
Nothing. Help me out here.
Clean.
No,
She was
I-
probably like, go rubber free, buddy.
Yeah,
I
fair
mean,
backing.
I fooled around in high school and stuff, but nothing like you guys are talking about. Fuck no.
When did you lose
I used to
your
joke about,
virginity? What
touch and patch and all that, and we got some things done. But as far as intercourse
Got some
and
things done.
blowjobs and fucking, no.
As far as eating so much pussy,
Nah.
you get throat cancer. That's
Yeah,
Right.
no, man.
18.
lot
When
of
did you
fucking
lose your
pussy.
virginity? When you technically consider?
18, first time I fucked.
Really?
Wow.
Yo, yeah. But I had
So
my,
all that stuff you were doing while you were young, but
I had my
18?
cock sucked before
What?
we get hard by 10 different people.
Wait, Jimmy, 18? I didn't know that.
First time I put my dick in a girl, I was 18
Oh,
years old.
all right. Yeah, because that's weird.
I remember
That's
me-
even stranger than my shit, I think, because you were doing all sorts of stuff. You would assume that you would have.
Yeah. I was 12.
Buried
so I
it
assumed you
before
were somewhere
18.
in that
No.
neighborhood.
Me and my friend would blow each other, and I literally didn't understand why his penis stood up and mine did. Like, my dick wouldn't even get hard at that age. Like, I had no idea why. I just remember it felt good and comforting to feel a mouth on my dick.
Well, yeah, it still does, doesn't it?
But yeah, but I mean, like, now I
Some
want it to
things
get
never
hard.
change.
But his stood up, and I was like, why does, like, I just didn't get it.
All right, what's that about?
Why did his stand up and yours did not? He was into it,
I was
you were not?
No, but I was really fucking young.
Right.
I just think, and eventually it started to, but I just didn't. I guess I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
He was like a year older. He wasn't like he was much older. But I was just a boy.
You were just
This
a
is like
young
first
little
grade.
lad.
Yeah. You know how it is.
Poor little Jimmy.
You and your pals. You
I
blow
know.
me, I blow you, whatever. You owe me 10 sucks, I owe you 10
I've
sucks.
heard you talk about this, and I'm like, holy Christ, I wish I'd grown up with him. We didn't have any of that where I was.
Ant's waiting for his turn because
Go ahead, Ant.
he always
Fire
got
away.
laid. He just always got laid.
Yeah.
From what age, sir?
His
Like
his
13.
father brought him
Early
his
on.
first chick.
What?
Well, she was a friend of the family.
Yeah.
Pro?
No, she was a friend of the family.
was a
She was
pro.
always around. But, you know, it was
Technically, she was a pro. She
Nah,
didn't do it
she
for
wasn't
money,
a
but
pro.
she was a pro.
She was 19. I was 13.
And
Yeah, it was just one of those
Dad
things.
Your
set it
dad
up.
was like,
It was like, yeah.
top him off!
He kind of probably pulled her aside. I was like, hey, why don't you, hook up Anthony? She was like, all right. Drink a little bit. Fucking went right at it.
Did you talk to
that
Dad
night.
afterwards and be like, well?
It was very embarrassing.
Was
I
it?
just like, I don't want to talk
It
to
was
Dad
not
about
bonding? Like, let's have a beer and talk pussy, Dad.
Yeah, I was.
He's like, don't ever eat too much of it, son. Cancer awaits.
Cancer awaits.
If I remember, old
crazy story.
Buzz. Her name was Christine, but everyone called her Buzz.
Why?
I don't know.
No
I
hair
think she
down
was at
below?
a Buzz. No, that's just it. She had a fucking big ass bush.
So
Big
Buzz,
bush.
was she always drunk?
Yeah. Yeah, she was always hammered.
Wait, so,
I guess that would explain why she would fuck a
Buzz.
13-year-old.
Yeah, fuck a 13-year-old. Yeah, she told me to go take a shower. I was like,
Before or
"All right."
after?
Before. I was like, all right.
Do you think you stunk?
Yeah, I was
Get a
down
little-
riding horses all day.
you
And
fucking,
also,
Oh,
he's
you're just
13,
that
he's
swamp
got that
ass.
13 body odor. 13
Yeah, you know.
yeah, you fucking greasy asshole with a saddle smell on it. Smells like fucking dusty trails.
Yeah.
Could you shower? Your asshole smells like gun smoke.
Yeah, she was in
Which
the,
is confusing if you don't know the show.
Absolutely.
Because you're sitting there going, what? Why
Gunsmoke,
does it
what?
smell?
Gunsmoke is good. Oh, that was a show.
Gunsmoke is good.
She was sitting up in my dad and his fucking girlfriend's bed at the time. Of course, they weren't there, but she had the blanket just up to her tummy.
Mm-hmm.
So I walked past the bedroom and looked in, and I was like, oh my god, those are real, like tits right there, and oh man, and I couldn't figure out like what was going on. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm walking in my room. I peeked in there and I saw that, and then it hit me. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I think I'm supposed to fucking go in there and like do something.
I would have been so scared.
Then
Like,
it
it's a
hit me.
good fellas thing. Like you walk in,
Yeah,
and you're like, oh no,
Right in there.
shot.
Yeah, his father's down the hall. Go in there. Go inside.
Yeah.
It's right there.
It's
I
over
gotta go,
there.
Dad.
Oh, no.
Right over there.
So you go in,
Yeah,
and she's like, did you shower?
she was pretty good. She, very teacherly.
Where'd you come?
Really?
Huh?
Where'd you come?
Right inside there.
What a trooper Buzz
Oh, yeah.
was.
Buzz was great.
She fucking let Aunt just blow lunch right in her box. What a
Exactly.
good egg.
It's like My
Exactly.
Tutor, dude, like the movie from the
it was-
80s
it was
when we were
great.
kids. There was,
I never saw that.
There was it was the movie about the guy who had like the tutor who was older, and it wasn't Sylvia Christel or something like that.
Fuck Emmanuel.
Yeah.
She was great. She was in Goodbye Emmanuel.
She was the maid and around the kid and the rich
course.
kid, and it was almost like this situation.
Oh, it was crazy. Yeah. And then, going to school, it was like, because then that went on for a while. She'd come over before I had to go to school.
So
In
this
the
happened
morning
more
you were
than
getting
once.
pussy?
Yeah.
Holy
she blow
fuck.
me and shit and fucking, and then I'd go to school and I'd just be walking around fucking Marco Forster Elementary School, junior high, whatever the fuck it was.
We're
And,
just pulling people aside, being like, "This is pointless. I've discovered the reason for life."
That's how I felt. It's
Fuck your
exactly how I
math and
felt.
algorithm. Someone will put your dick in your mouth.
It's like, are you really playing fucking tetherball? Are you really?
Do you understand
Do you
what's out there?
understand what the fuck
There's
is
only
going
one
on?
ball that matters.
Right.
He's got a twin.
Yeah.
Did anyone understand, though? They couldn't wrap their heads around it, right?
Couldn't figure it out. They'd discuss sex in this weird, abstract kind of, obviously had no clue about it.
They're
And I'm-
still trying to figure out how to get it.
Yeah,
We were.
yeah. And I'm like, oh, you don't even know what this is. You don't even know. But I never fessed up. I was never like, yeah, I'm getting fucking pussy at home. I was just listening and talking.
You were just cool, man.
Yeah, you weren't throwing it out there.
No, I haven't.
Because you didn't want to ruin it.
I didn't want to ruin it. That's what happens with these kids when they start blabbing at school, and before you know, the police are involved. Fuck that.
Yeah, that's true.
That went on for like probably 9 months or so. 9 months.
I saw a story recently about a kid who blew the whistle, a boy.
Yeah, because he wasn't getting any.
I thought it was vice versa. I thought she like attacked him in a class. The one I read is she attacked him in a classroom.
In most cases,
he took a fucking selfie of them going at it.
Oh boy!
And then he was maintaining that he's like, I didn't want this.
Come on, every boy wants that from their teacher.
That's
why I laugh at all those stories.
But I'm like, I don't know, man. I saw a picture of her. I was like, if I was 16 and this lady was just like, fuck me, stupid. I was like, wait, am I stupid? Or
it was every guy's fantasy growing up. Yeah. We all had that one hot teacher, and you wouldn't have fucking had mental problems if that went down. You would have loved it, right? Yeah. Is this the?
He's looking at My Tutor. But what was the other one? My Tutor was one.
It was about a house.
What was the other one? Damn, the one
My
was
Tutor.
Tom Cruise losing it.
But that was remember they went south of the border.
Yeah.
Spanish Fly.
Yeah.
Oh right.
And wasn't the kid from fucking
Kelly Leak was
in there? Yeah, Kelly Leak. Yeah, it's fucked up, man. It was like,
All right, so My Tutor was one, but the one I'm thinking of, the one with Sylvia Christel, was, damn it. Can you just Google Sylvia Christel?
Yeah. Help him out there,
I can't remember the name of this flick for the life of me. Not like it matters, but as you're sitting here watching. God, this trailer is like 10 minutes long.
I know, right?
If you watch the My Tutor trailer, you never have to see the movie.
No.
They show you everything, including nudity.
It's all right there. God damn.
You see any of the movies over the weekend, Kevin? While we find that,
what opened up after?
Well, the Will Smith.
No, did anybody?
That's his first. That's his first
debacle.
Bomb. They're saying in like 20 years because he's always.
That's technically it's not true. He was in Jersey Girl.
Was he?
Yeah, he was. Look at that. There's a problem right there.
Well, he did the Memorial Day weekend movie for the last 20 years, and they're saying this is the first one.
He used to be the 4th of July guy, remember?
Yeah. Was it 4th of July? Then he moved to
Independence Day.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
Black's 4th of July. But he was the dependable summer guy.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it seems
Men
like
in
the
Black.
problem with this movie was that he Private Lessons. That's the name of it.
Private Lessons.
Private Lessons.
Right.
It seemed like the problem with this flick was it wasn't really a Will Smith movie. It was a movie. His kid top line the movie, and he was kind of spoilers crippled in a spaceship most of the movie.
What's that?
His legs are broken.
Ship.
And he's just like, go do this, and so he's talking the kid through it.
Oh, really? That
And
sounds
also, I
awful.
feel like it's just remove everything else. A lot of people are trying to lay it at the kid's feet and be like, "Oh, that kid's an asshole," and a lot of people are trying to lay it at M. Night Shyamalan's feet,
Yeah,
as the director. Although you wouldn't know it unless you looked real close because they didn't market.
They
that.
really didn't market it.
I think people are. I know you might be a friend of his, but I think he's awful. And
Is he overrated at this point?
I don't personally like him, and I think that M. Night, and I don't like his stuff.
Is he overrated? You think at this point? He's had a lot of bombs.
No, man.
You like Sixth Sense?
You know,
Sixth Sense was amazing.
Based on everybody talking about, oh my God, M. Night, he deserves the credit for this. A lot of people start talking about his body of work, and then I can't sit there and join in because a lot of the same people have been said some of the worst shit about me.
Right.
Fair enough.
But in reading, I was like, oh, a lot of people point to The Village as everything going south there.
I kind of like the movie. I did.
I watched
My
it
ears
last
open.
night, just 'cause
I
haven't
like
seen it
I like
since-
the concept. I liked it.
I
mean, they
thought I
didn't
did
totally.
too,
They
and
didn't
then I
totally pull
rewatched
it off,
Holy
but
crap. It was. I was watching.
how bad is it when you see it again?
It felt really bad. And I also felt expensive the whole time. I'm like, come on,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like all this just to do that spin at the end,
Right.
Yeah.
But she's great in it. Like Bryce Howard is really fantastic in it. But anyway, they
I
said
like that you
was
look
the
at
point where
cost of the movie. You're like, oh, that scene right there. That's.
I didn't.
He had like this cast.
I didn't love it.
a lot
I
of famous
just
people.
liked it at the time. I thought it was
a
all
little
right.
backpedal.
Well, I don't want people to
right
say
there.
that I loved it because they will anyway. But
They will anyway, yeah.
I don't know if After Earth had as much to do with any of that, though, as much as it was like it looked like Oblivion, which came out not too long ago. Like Earth is dead, but we're back on it, but we got to get off Earth.
Yeah.
This is almost the same plot in Oblivion, and it's the same plot in this movie. And especially, it's like if I save my bucks, I can go see like something way cooler is coming right down the pipe.
How about a Scientology thing with Earth in the title, not really being very good. That's the second.
Right.
That's the second miss.
And this was the first time that people, like, there was echoes of him maybe being into Scientology, but then it went quiet. But because of this movie, now everyone's talking about it again.
Yeah.
What about Star Trek? You see it yet?
I didn't see it yet. I haven't gone.
Wow.
And just liked it, right?
I liked it.
You weren't blown away by
Well,
it.
as a huge Star Trek fan, I kind of you notice things that are like, why did they do that? Wait a minute. They should have done that instead of that. You know, just the use of the transporter versus the shuttlecraft. It's kind of like, well, you know, just beam that shit. What are you doing?
And also we all, I don't know how anyone didn't know. The moment they announced, like, we've got a villain, and you've never heard of him before, you were like, okay, spoilers. It's probably going to be
Khan.
Their variation of Khan, which it turned out to be.
Yeah.
But I heard that they liberally stole from that flick.
Yeah, they did. There was like certain scenes that were just like,
and
wow.
was there a scene where old Spock talked to young Spock, and he was like, how did you deal with your Khan? He's like, oh, my brother, you're going to have to buy your own.
You got to buy your own.
Was it that scene?
Yeah.
What was that? What movie?
There's a scene in the new Star Trek, apparently, where old Spock talks to young Spock, because, they've set up that we're on a separate timeline.
Young Spock got in touch with old Spock.
And he's just like, we're fighting this Khan dude. What do we do? And
what's with this Khan? He's like,
I can't tell you.
He told him one thing. He just told him,
Why can't he tell him?
He's like, guy's pretty fucking ruthless.
That's all he said.
Yeah.
They didn't know this by this point already?
I think they did.
So you're like, I got in touch with you for some help, and the best thing you could do for me is like, the guy who killed a bunch of people is a bad guy.
He's bad. That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, you got this amazing technology. You could talk to your old self, but he's not going to tell you what to... That's so dumb.
Yeah.
Especially because in the last movie, he's like, aren't we not supposed to run into each other? He's like, we just tell human beings that. So it's it's been established that he can fuck with the timeline.
Yeah, why the fuck?
Suddenly, conveniently, he's just like, oh, no, my brother.
No, my
You're
brother.
going to have to buy your own. I haven't seen that, but that aspect I heard about, I was like, oh, man. I like the reboot. I thought the first
one was amazing. Really This one also, there's one scene where, I guess the Khan, character, before they realize who he is or whatnot, uses a portable transporter device to literally transport himself clean across the fucking universe. It's just, wait a minute, what? Then why do they have any device on the ships? Why don't they just have this portable one where you could beam anywhere? Like, it's not limited.
Known or unknown galaxy.
Yeah, it wasn't even limited. It just seemed like they really, if they needed an answer, they just wrote one. Regardless.
You, man, the movie I'm looking for is Man of Steel.
It's
coming up.
That's
what I think. There was
crazy.
A lot of people like skipping After Earth because they're like, forget it, man. The Big Daddy's on his way.
Man of Steel.
Have you seen the TV spots?
I saw all the trailers.
There's a TV spot that they came out with, I've been talking about for a little while now. About 2-3 weeks ago, the first TV spot I saw this shot in. And it's a shot of Superman. He's got Lois Lane in his arms. And we're over his back, and he's apparently rushing away from something exploding, some fucking danger. And he's holding her. So we're seeing the back of his head and the front of her face because she's looking back over his shoulders. And it might be her performance. It's got to be her performance, hands down. The stuff that's in the frame around them and the lighting and all that. And obviously you get the impression like something horrible's happening and effects are at play. But it all comes down to her performance.
Wow, really?
That performance in that one moment, she's got these eyes on that's just like, holy fuck, the worst thing that has ever happened is like 5 feet from me. And somehow, unbelievably, this person is flying me, not running me, not driving me, flying me away from it. Such a great actress. She has everything play across her face and makes you go like, fuck you, take all my money. Like, that's the moment. If you're a comic book reader, that's what whenever you think about the rescue, which is a big part of comic book mythology, like somebody being there for you at that worst moment of your life and being there like to save you, man or woman, it doesn't matter. When you think about it, that's what you imagine, because what they're usually rescuing you from, you see Batman swing and catch somebody and whatnot, shit's exploding around him, and you've never really seen it depicted in a movie. And just in that 2 seconds of the TV spot,
great.
I was hooked in a big way.
It looks amazing. If I can, obviously, effect-wise, just when you look at the old 1970, what was it, 79?
78. So you will believe a man can fly.
Right. And at the time, that was amazing. Because before that, all he had was the TV version.
George Reeves would jump and then lay down, and they'd blow windows.
It was all superimposed and everything. And that was like, oh, my God. Now, though, the great shots when he goes supersonic, and you just see that cone of fucking water, of vapor, you know, that vapor trail coming off of it.
And his cape,
so cool.
Apparently every shot of his cape is CG.
Wow, really?
So they didn't, because they were, I guess Zack Snyder was like, look, man, every
Can't
time.
make a cape do that?
Yeah, if you've got a cape laying on a guy, it looks kind of dopey, no matter what they make it.
Yeah.
He's like, let's just do it CG. So every shot,
it's rippling and
they brought
flowing.
it to life.
No kidding. When does the movie hit?
I think it's mid-June or something like that.
So we're almost there.
Yeah, it's not too far away. It's not this weekend. I think it's the weekend.
And that leads to how does the Man of Steel shave? That's what you're promoting.
What a hell
today.
of a segue. Yes. How does he?
That's why we get the big bug.
HowDoesHeShave.com. That's where folks could go to right now. When we're talking about with the Man of Steel movie out, the trailer out, you see him with a beard. At one point, and they see him with no beard. So the good folks at Gillette came up with this thing of like, how does he shave?
Exactly. They would be super whiskers.
Bingo. Now, it's one of these things where a lot of people in comics or who read comics are like, you asshole, we all know how he fucking shaves. John Byrne told us in 1986. So, you go out there and you explain, look, this is for the mainstream people who maybe don't understand.
Wait,
or
how was it
didn't read
explained
John
back in
Byrne.
1986?
In 1986.
And was that the year?
That was the year. The Man of Steel miniseries. John Byrne relaunches Superman. Recreates him, takes Lex Luthor from a scientist in the purple jumpsuit to Donald Trump, essentially, a businessman who is like Metropolis's favorite son, who hates Superman, who shows up, this alien shows up, he becomes Metropolis's favorite son. This dude's like, I hate him for that reason alone. And so he starts trying to crush him on a corporate level, more so than like, I'm going to create a giant spider and come after you. So he reinvents, John Byrne reinvents Superman, and one of the things he does is answer like dopey questions that for years people who love comic books would ask. And one was like, how does he shave? How does Superman shave? And he said, John Byrne said he has a mirror that he uses his heat vision on. So he bounces his heat vision off the mirror to his face and then hits every strand and burns it off his face.
That's how he does it?
That's how, that is how he does it in the fictional world because the character's not real. But that is the answer that they gave us many years ago. And of course, comic book people, number one, you'll accept any sort of pseudoscience. But number two, John Byrne said it, so we were all like, great. Like
that's how he shaves.
Yeah, I mean,
so can I go online and just say that's how he shaves?
You can, but then people will say, well, we're looking beyond that. They wanted to disqualify that right away.
All right, so we're not doing that one.
So I start mine by talking about that theory and whatnot, and then go on like, but here's my alternative theory. So they got me. They got Bill Nye, the science guy. They got Mayim Bialik, the Blossom, who's on Big Bang Theory.
She's very
And then they got
smart.
the Mythbusters dudes.
Oh, very cool.
And so they asked all of us, how did you shave? We each got a theory, and then you're supposed to vote them up. I hope everyone votes mine up. Mine is actually the one that makes the most sense.
Does it?
What is yours?
It's logical. My baby rocket theory, I said the rocket that brought him to Earth. Every permutation of the story is in the rocket.
Yes.
Rocket comes from Krypton, it's strong enough, so just bang off a piece of that metal, and he can hammer it out, and that's what he would use to save. Some people talk about like, well, in what was that movie with Will Smith? Not Hitch, but the other superhero, Hancock.
Yeah, Hancock.
He shaved with a fingernail. But I'm like, that didn't make sense, because I'm a human being, and I can't shave with a fingernail.
Right.
Like,
so
basically, you take a power and augment it. You can't magically give somebody the ability to do something that even with, like...
relative to his strength
I know,
and
and
stuff, his whiskers
you
would be.
get tied up in this, like, that's not true. And people are like, the whole fucking thing's not true.
Yeah, the whole flying thing would get me before how does he shave?
Exactly. A lot of people have a little problem with that.
I like your idea there.
I'm telling you, that makes
logical
sense. I listened to the rest, right?
What does Bill Nye say?
Bill Nye is, he goes, look, in order to shave something down, you could grind it down. You just need something that's equally as powerful that would grind it down. So if you've got a stone, you need another stone to grind it down. If you grind it across each other really hard. But his theory doesn't say what that other element is.
Right.
It's like we just have to find an element as strong as Superman's beard.
It's got to be very strong.
All right, he loses.
Yeah, I say that's
You're in the lead.
Mayim's begins with like, she begins with a lie. She goes, they're doing research in the field of Kryptonian DNA and genetics.
No.
So that's horse shit.
She's
Like, nobody's
bullshitting
doing
right off
that
the
anywhere.
get-go. Yeah.
So hers is all about, like, since they're doing this, they're going to come up with a cream that you could rub in his face, and that it's just got low density kryptonite levels that make it
at all.
Again, it's made up.
Right,
So
it's
that
made
one
up.
I discount. And then the Mythbusters, they went through a few. One was black hole theory, which was like, he just stands close to a black hole and lets it suck his whiskers
Sucks the
out.
whiskers
We're
out.
gonna take his eyeballs and everything else down too.
When his wiener.
And his wiener.
Right.
And his
Pubes.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
crazy.
Honestly, my theory is the only one that's
Yours makes perfect sense.
scientifically sound. Go to howdoesshave.com, vote me up. And I don't win anything for it. Just the moral right over Blossom
Right.
and the Mythbusters and Bill Nye.
And it really would be terrible if you didn't win this, because you really are the expert as far as
You pointed
that
out
goes.
the pink elephant in the room.
Yeah,
my friend.
come on.
That's true. If I don't win this, what have I been doing for the last 20
Yeah,
years?
you know
Right,
your
right.
shit.
This is all I do.
You know,
is talk
Blossom-
about other people's movies. Yeah.
No one's gonna
Blossom's
go,
been
"Hey,
learning
Blossom,
shit."
you didn't know."
She's a neuroscientist.
I know, yeah.
She's got degrees. In life.
Crazy.
Listen, we got to take a break. Are you sticking around today?
Yeah, if you like me
Oh,
to.
good. Kevin Smith is here today. Very good. Last time was quick.
It was in and out, man.
How did the cartoon go?
It was lovely. We had such a good time. Nice crowd. That was a great theater. It was a
Awesome.
fun night. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's
All right.
true. We're still out there and with Jay and Silent Bob's super groovy cartoon movie.
You are.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
still touring with that.
We do.
groovy.
We come home and then we go back out. This weekend we go to like Pittsburgh and
That's cool.
Columbus and stuff like that.
Sweet, man. That Kevin Smith on Twitter. What else? Howdoesshave.com.
Go to howdoesshave.com,
Okay.
man, and vote my ass up.
All right, we'll continue with Kevin Smith.
Who's going to put me back as if I ever went? If anyone's going to put me in a gym, it's going to be you. Last time I was here,
Jimmy looks great. Thank you.
Jimmy looks fucking amazing.
Amazing.
Like, really, really. And I hate saying that to people when they lost weight, because as a fat person, if you lose a little weight, and I don't, you just said, hey, you look pretty good, and this isn't in reference to that. But generally, when, like, one time I lost to like 60 pounds, and I was on Joy Behar, and they made a little big deal of it. Like, oh, you're fucking thinner now. And it just always feels like people going like, you look like shit before, without saying it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't mean that as like, you
Oh,
look
no,
like shit
I
before.
didn't.
You always
Thank
look
you.
good.
No,
but
I looked
you
like shit before.
No, you didn't. But you always look trim, but you look fucking tight now and like
Ooh,
neck and
thanks.
abs and shit like that.
Oh,
It's the
God,
trainers.
Talking about
Is it?
Jimmy.
Yeah,
Lord.
I was doing weights for a while and just eating right, and then I went to going to a couple of trainers lately, and they fucking like little things, because I wouldn't sweat that much in the gym. I would try to sweat, and these two fucking horrible human beings. I literally have to keep stopping and going like, but then the exercises are not that crazy. They just know how to get your heart rate up, and it's like all the money I would spend on doing awful shit. Now I just spend on that.
And,
What's
the,
the
and the hot
session?
blonde is a horrible human being. I saw her in the gym on Friday. You weren't there, working some dude, and she's just not a nice person.
I'm telling you, she's nice. The ones we're talking about, she's like the hot one in the gym that everybody's like, ugh.
She's
But-
like lower, use your hips, like just fucking horrible
But
towards the guy.
some guys may like, because she'll do that to me, but not harshly. She'll go like, come on. And she knows I don't get any sleep, so she's much easier on me when I don't sleep. Some guys like that. Some guys like someone to go, come on, let's go. Like I had the other one telling me yesterday I did girl push-ups. It was funny though. Like she was just teasing me, but she was right.
She was like, you're doing girl push-ups.
She was a girl push-up, and you know she's.
And she goes to the guy, so why did you have that popcorn last night?
Oh, God.
And he goes, because I wanted to. And she goes, oh.
Oh, man.
And that was it. And the guy,
need
in
that
that
kind of
moment, I
judgment.
saw his face felt like shit.
But that's maybe what he requires, because
Yeah.
honestly, because I deal with her, so I know what you mean. And we have fun chats about everything.
Fun chat?
Yeah, fun chats.
But the second half of that, the guy was obviously looking for, like, well, that's okay. Every once in a while, but maybe next time you try not to. It was just, you're a piece of shit.
Who knows what he said last week, though? He may have come in and said, I had pecan pie. And she might have had enough of this guy and his fucking, I cheated again. I heard you last week.
You're hoping for a little coddling, like, it was a weak moment. Well, that's okay. We'll work on the weak moments.
You got to think, for the trainers and whatnot, it's kind of like showing your product if the people are fucking not in shape.
Yeah.
And you're trying to get them in shape, and they're like, yeah, that's my trainer. I was like, oh, they're doing a great job.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, it's true.
So you think they want you to fucking get into shape.
She's fucking good though, man. Like she comes in and she always has stuff printed out, like for my workouts. Like she really puts effort into making sure it's different than the last time, and for working specific muscle groups. Like she really cares about you getting in shape.
No, she's great actually. I mean, there's another guy at our gym that has a beer belly. He's training people. How is that going to motivate you?
Right.
I don't give a guy. I want to train with somebody who I can feel slightly superior to, if not equal to.
But maybe he understands totally how to get you in shape, but as soon as he shows up with the beer belly, you're like, really?
What are you doing, sir? Yeah,
Right.
of course.
He's like, those who can't do, teach. So you get down and you do something. Are you allowed to plug her or like say?
I won't, because I don't know how, because she's a singer, so I don't know how much, like the other one
Aretha
doesn't
Franklin.
want to. Yeah, it's a really weird choice.
That would be an odd.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, like if I do well, she'll sing R-E-S-P-E-C-T as I'm walking around and clapping. Everybody joins in. It's like a big gospel thing. That was a fun line. Why did I have to ruin it by going too far?
Did.
We heard you, Jim. Fucking asshole I am. No, because the other girl who I work with doesn't want herself plugged either. She's doing some
Jimmy
stuff
picked the two hottest trainers at the gym.
I mean, if you're
two
gonna,
really
why
hot
not?
blondes.
Like at least that would, I would imagine, inspire you a bit, little more. And whatnot.
And their energy, though, like I like, you know what it is? They're both really, because I mean, I'm chatty, so they're both really nice and nicer than I thought they'd be. And the reason I figured out they come off as cunty if you don't know them is because every guy wants to fuck them. So they have to put up with so many awful conversations that they've learned just to probably talk to people that they're training.
Do you understand what you just did? You just pumped yourself up. Like, I'm chatty and stuff, but they're good and they're nice. But I can understand how people would think they're cunty, because when you're not an interesing, great person like me, and you talk to them, they fucking get
no.
That's what I took away.
No, what I meant is when you're working with them, they talk to you.
Yeah.
Like that. No, I'm training with them. That's why I talk to them. But if I wasn't actually working with them, so they talk to people who they're working with, and in the session, they're very talkative and friendly. But they're probably sick of guys trying to fuck them and just annoying them while they're working. Because the one I work with, the hot, and she's always got people asking her questions. And what happened last week? And,
oh, God.
So I think they try to concentrate on the people that they're working on.
Hot chicks got such a cross to bear, don't they? Those hot chicks.
It's a lot of
guys.
Bad chatter. It's like being at an event all day. Picture being at an event every time you're going for a sip of beer.
God.
The guy who walks up and goes, dude, that thing you did on the fuck with that lady. That's what their life is like.
That lady.
That time. I got a little more. So then I'm on the floor stretching my back, and the guy was doing the kettlebells wrong, because it's the one where you have to, like, with your hips. And and then she demonstrates. I am 18 inches away from her amazing fucking camel toe as she's demonstrating.
You saw the camel toe.
Oh, boy, did I finally.
Out of control.
I've been meaning to tell you.
Jimmy loves a good camel toe.
Because they decided to come to my area, and I'm just stretching my back. They're pretty much where you are, maybe closer.
Yeah.
And I'm like doing like this, the cobra pose, stretching out my back a little bit, and I'm just staring right at her.
It's out of control.
And thank you to that guy. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing. She had to demonstrate, which really...
It's amazing.
Man,
You
she
were
was just
so
pushing
close.
everything forward. I'm like, holy
So close
fuck.
that you got some throat cancer.
Dude, I was trying to be, I was trying to be cool, though.
That fucking...
I didn't want to look like fucking pervert guy.
Jimmy said something the last time I said, as we were talking about right before we jumped back on air, but he was talking about going to the gym. I was like, oh man, isn't that like embarrassing? People look at you, and he was just like, no. He said that's not a reason to not do it. He's going, everyone's paying attention to their own shit. Like just how you don't look at other people, it's like they don't really look at you. I think that would be different though, because they'd be like, that's that fat motherfucker got thrown off a plane.
Kevin Smith.
He's finally doing something about his fucking fat cancer.
But you know what people think when they see someone who's big, and I've seen people who are truly huge. You just go, oh great, look at that. You respect the person for being
trying.
there. You never, I never think, oh look at that fat. So what are you?
Yeah,
I'm always
look at
like,
where they
good for you.
I'd rather see him there than
fuck
fucking.
Yeah,
You know,
I respect
Dunkin'
them.
Donuts.
I think everybody respects somebody And again, you see people that are 500 pounds just slowly walking. They can't do much, but everybody respects that
He's
person.
not even here today. Be nice.
Wow.
Completely don't you respect someone like that when you see him like work?
Absolutely.
It's like it's fucking man. They're making a real effort. All right, I mean either. I'm kidding.
I'm kidding.
I'm much too self-centered to.
I'm kidding. Of course I do.
I sit there and think, you fat piece of shit.
It's great material too. It's great fodder for material.
What do you mean, in the gym?
Yeah, you just talk about it like your whole life is different.
I'm a big time pussy because I watch Biggest Loser, and you know I might get a little teary
choked up.
Holy fuck!
I haven't. I didn't. I blew out. I was going to say blew out a couple seasons.
Who's out?
Ago.
Oh.
I haven't watched it in a couple seasons, but I was all in for many fucking seasons with that dumb show.
If every once in a while there's a quasi celebrity one too, right? Where they have famous people do it and stuff. I remember at one point they asked me, they're like, you interested? I said, no, I still got a modicum of dignity.
Right, yeah.
But I did watch, this is apropos of nothing, man. I know I'm probably way late on this, but I don't ever watch Kitchen Nightmares, but like I've been seeing, I'm an AOL guy, so I'm on HuffPost almost every day. So I've been seeing this Amy's Baking Company story. Did you see this?
I haven't seen this one yet.
I've been out of this. What exactly is this about?
You see it? It is, dude, it is some of the most entertaining, mind-bending television I've ever seen. The only problem with it is it's only one. Like, they only went to these people once.
Oh, shit.
These people are so fascinating to watch. There's this married couple, an older guy, and this lady named Amy. They got this restaurant in Scottsdale, Arizona. And, you know, I guess the premise of this show is like, we're having problems in our restaurant. We need Chef Ramsay to come fucking make us decent human beings.
Yeah.
So he comes in and he observes, has some of their food, and the model of the show, I guess. And then, you know, he tells them what they're doing wrong, and he stays until they improve, and then he leaves. So he came to do that on this show, man. And the people that he came to work with, this chick Amy is just, it comes across, at least in the show, who knows what she's like in real life, fucking batshit.
Really?
They got this situation where he's her husband, I guess, is the guy that's seating everybody, bringing orders. They have waitresses, but they pay him a salary and they don't let him take the tips. He keeps the tips.
Fuck.
The manager. And first, that's Ramsey hears about this. He's like, "You keep the tips," and he's just like, "Yes, but I am the one doing all of the running and stuff." He's like, "If I told your customers that you kept the tips," and then finally busts out. He's like, "This man keeps the tips," and people are like, "What a piece of shit." She makes desserts. Apparently, the desserts look real good and whatnot. But their food, apparently, people have been complaining about it they've been open 6 years.
Oh, fuck.
But nobody's allowed to tell her. So, like, when food comes back to the kitchen, if somebody's like, this isn't done right, they just throw it out. They show them getting into fights with the clientele, like people being like, I don't like this. He's like, then, ma'am, you could get the hell out, like a soup Nazi kind of thing. So they ask him, they're like, come help us do better. And so he stays with them for a day. He has their food. He eats like 4 of her dishes, and each one is worse than the next. Like uncooked. He gets a pizza, and it's raw in the middle. And later, and this chick, dude, I swear to you, just pull.
Oh, my God, she looks like a lunatic.
Oh, wow.
She will not be wrong. Like, I learned something watching this. Like, as I watched this episode, I suddenly looked back and at like the period where I was like, motherfucker critic. Nobody could criticize me because I fear that I sound like this woman. Like, it was an eye-opener where I was like, because this chick, you cannot tell her that she's done wrong. Like, it's not her fault. It's everyone else's fucking fault. And it's 45 minutes of bliss, this episode. And at the end of it, I mean, spoilers, he gets up and he's like, I've never done this before, but I'm leaving. Like,
wow, he fucking bailed.
They break him. Like, this chick is maddening. That's
why the show's so good, though, because the whole 45-minute show is just the bad part. There's no like turnaround. It's just the fun part.
That's great. Yeah, no, like, well, we finally got it.
It's all train wreck.
Yes, the whole. As you're watching the countdown, you're like 45 minutes. There's like 2 minutes left. Will there be any redemption? None.
A part two. Something.
He walks out and he's just like, he talks to camera. He's like, I can't do it. Like, I've never done this before. He gets in his car, he fucking takes off.
Wankers.
And then I heard her Facebook page took off.
Yeah, the reason they were crazy was because she was upset because the whole thing started with Yelpers saying that the restaurant was not good, and then she started going after people on Yelp, and so then the internet had a field day. That was before the show.
Wow.
When he gets there, she's like, these haters on the internet. And he's like, what are you talking about? It's a restaurant. What are you? She's obsessed with people on Yelp who like, the food's not that good. And then she's like, they're liars. They're flat out liars. And he's like, well, we'll deal with that later on. Let's just get right to the food. So then later on, when he's sitting down and telling her like what's wrong, she's like, you're a hater. You're part of these haters and these people online. So after this episode aired,
he's touching pizza dough. And he's like, this pizza dough is raw. And she goes, I want you to know when I took it out of the oven, it was crispy, and I cut it, it was not raw.
But how does it get raw?
And he's like,
touching it.
He's like, I don't know what to tell you, but I ate it, and it's raw. And she's like, well, I cooked it the way it's supposed to be cooked, and people love that pizza. I've never had a complaint about that pizza. But I guess after the episode aired, a lot of people went to their Facebook page and were like, you fuckers are morons. And that just lit up World War III, because that just fed into her whole, like, the haters, the haters. Right. Suddenly, a real legion of haters came out, and these two were sitting there. They say they weren't. They blame a hacker now. But they were sitting there, dude, and fighting the internet. And they were saying shit like, we have love and Jesus. You losers have nothing.
Wow.
Like, it was
that'll calm everyone down, right, Kevin?
Oh, my God. Dude, it was like an 11-year-old in 1999, like, first turned on the internet and had somebody say you're ugly. And they had no experience how to deal with negativity from strangers. And they just went after them, dude. And the shit they wrote was mind-bending. Now what's come out is he might get deported.
Yeah.
Because he lied.
And even more, for last week, they're saying he might get deported. Now they're saying they may get their complete own reality show.
They should.
Yeah, they probably will.
The problem is it'll be artificed. But there was no, I don't think you could replicate it.
Do you have a clip of her? I want to hear.
I mean, I don't even know what.
If you go to YouTube and enter, this is how I watched it. I went to YouTube. Somebody from Canada put up a whole episode. Just go to YouTube, get Amy up.
I got the whole episode. I
find a good clip.
Watch the entire. Go to when she sits him down and she's like toward back here, where they do the face-off, and he's just like...
that last scene?
Where he's like,
Kevin,
just bad
but
shit.
How is she still in business? She's been in business 6 years
They closed,
with a shitty restaurant?
They closed down for a little while because they were getting, like, pounded after the
haters. No, but before, how did she stay in business if her food sucks?
That's the thing.
Most restaurants fail.
That's where you sit there going, I understand why she's like, I'm losing my mind. They have enough business, people coming in, to actually stay afloat for 6 years, but... a couple, you can't please everybody, man. Some people are going to be like, I don't like your fucking pizza.
But now, if you saw the show and you were in that part of town, wouldn't you go there?
That's what. Well, they had people on the news. I watched a news report, and people were like, "I'm from Canada. I just saw them on TV. I gotta see these fuckers in real life.
Dude, I'm going to send this back. I'm going to say it sucks. Watch this.
They're the anti-Honey Boo Boo, and as much as you're like, I hate these people so much.
Yeah.
Go play the little piece.
Because in one shot, they not only were taking on Facebook, but they were taking on Facebook, Yelp, and Reddit. These two people who have a bad restaurant in Arizona.
And they talk about, like, the way they talk about the internet, it's like, these tweetings and the Facebookers.
They don't even get it, but they're trying to fight it.
They were calling them Reddits.
Yeah. Reddits. They don't even realize how futile internet battles are.
Forget it.
Play him talking to these guys.
Let me hear some of this.
What would you like to clarify?
All right, hold on. Just set it up. So this is the after, like, he came and
tried his best to change shit.
Had food with them and then worked with them in the kitchen that night. She closed the place early. They're sitting down the morning after to try to, like, come to terms, like, how can we go forward?
And he had just spoken to a couple of employees that used to work at the restaurant, and he goes, how long did you work there? And I think the guy said, like, 1.5 years. And they go, oh, how many employees did they go through? 50. 50. He goes, 50. There's only 2 people hired at a time.
That's great.
Earlier in the episode, she fired the bus girl, the girl who acts as busboy.
That's the mind bender. In the middle of the show, they've got cameras running, and this chick, this is the moment. The little bus girl whose job it is to bring the food to the table.
She's like a 14-year-old blonde.
She's short as hell. She's nice. But I guess a few times during the evening, she was given the wrong table to bring food to. So the chick, wasn't Amy, she goes, here, this goes to table 5 or 6. And the little girl goes, are you sure? That's it. No more venom than that.
Oh,
Just like,
no.
are you sure? And she walks away and she goes, hey, yeah, I'm sure. And then she turns to her husband and goes, Sammy, send her home. I don't need that attitude.
Oh, my God.
And she fires her, right? She's like, you get out of here. She goes, don't turn around when I'm talking to you. You come back here.
lunatic.
And the girl turns around and she goes, you're fired.
But isn't
Oh
that
my
part of
God.
it? You think that's why she did it on camera, probably, just because people like a tough boss or whatever.
No.
I don't think so.
She's out of her mind.
She's just crazy.
She's crazy.
Wow.
And
Well,
just
listen
when,
to her.
you think that might have been edited,
Yeah.
Amy retells the story over and over, and she's like, and she looks at me and she goes, "Are you sure? I don't need that in my store. I don't need her. I'm her boss. She's not mine."
Wow.
I got to hear some of
Let's
her
hear
voice.
what she says.
I wanna hear
guys.
this
Let me take
nice
a look,
voice.
Sammy.
Hey, Sammy. Today is a new day.
Yeah, I hope so.
You don't look very happy.
I'm exhausted.
Nice.
It's all. Yeah, I've never had this experience like this. It's disaster.
Okay. I've never had an experience like this.
Sammy,
either.
her husband, is Israeli or
We
something.
want to clarify a few things
Please, should we sit down?
so there's no animosity.
Let's
of
sit
course.
down.
She's pretty.
He looks like he's got about 25 years on her as well.
Yeah, yeah.
What would you like to clarify?
He's the same age. She's just worn him out.
Were the comments you were saying to me last night while I was trying
Can
to
you pause
focus
it?
on the food?
She's beautiful.
This is what I can't stand.
crazy
People
looking.
that talk like my mother does this, where she's like, I just want to clarify about the situations that were happening last night per our discussions. Like, just like
They try to sound
oversay-
smarter.
Yes.
They try to sound smarter, and then they make a moot point.
And this guy, look at him. He's just so like,
He's
I hate
defeated.
my
Yeah.
life.
He's defeated.
She fucks him, so he tolerates her.
She has sucked all the energy and life force out of him.
But
He's a
references-
lunatic too.
And he references being a mobster. Like at one point, Ramsey
Yeah.
gets up in his face where he's just like, where he goes, how would you like it if I told these people that you keep the tips? And he did. And then he turned around and this dude got in his face. He's like, you think you're a gangster? I am the gangster. And you're like, this guy's going to get killed in his
I'm the bad guy.
He's part of the Mossad.
Yeah.
And be open and honest.
Okay.
Okay? Because for me, this was about uncovering the truth. When I'm told that the raviolis are freshly made...
I didn't tell you that.
Can I finish?
Oh,
Sorry,
wow.
when your husband told me that the raviolis were fresh, I ordered them. And the raviolis were disgusting and not fresh. And if you're going to try and continue to pull wool over customers' eyes by sending them fake, fresh-made
She's just
raviolis,
rolling her eyes.
She's looking up.
that sends my alarm bells going.
Speaking it.
Now, you may want to sit there and argue, but you're not prepared to understand that I'm here to show you what's right, and you can't take that.
I can. I'm ready for that. I have no problems with the food.
I told you about the burger, you refused to listen.
I did not. I
Every
asked
time
you
I tell
what
you
was
something,
wrong with it.
you come back with an excuse.
I kept
After
asking you
excuse,
what's wrong,
after
and you couldn't
excuse.
give me
I told
an
you
answer.
the bun for the beef burger was soggy as any
Flashback. There's
Never
proof.
had a problem with that hamburger ever.
Her eyes are
You said
fucking...
the salmon burger was dry, but it was wet. Is it dry or is it wet? Which one is it?
one at a time.
pussy.
No, you're confused. I'm not confused when we're talking about food. But the way you screamed at that young girl last night.
Would you let anybody come into your restaurant, in your kitchen, and speak to you the way that that kid spoke to me last night? Would you? Do you think we're going to let someone hold a gun to our head and we're going to give them our ass and let them do anything they
gun.
want from us?
All she asked is,
No, she
are
did
you
it with
sure?
an attitude, a serious attitude. She's like, are you sure?
Flashback.
For me. Are you sure? You don't need to question me, Katie. You can go home right now.
See how she explodes?
Just like out of nowhere.
She immediately like races out of the kitchen, even though.
Wait a minute. Let me ask a question. Let me play cunty advocate. Was that like had the boss made a mistake earlier and given the wrong one, like and said 3D, and then she was just going, "Are you sure? Like you fucked up before? Are
That's
you
what
sure
she's
now?"
referring to. It is. She definitely gave her a little bit of like, "Are you sure?"
Little attitude.
But not enough to warrant the fucking this chick being like, "Oh, off with her head," and like leaving the kitchen when they're at the height of their rush, while Gordon Ramsay is there judging them, and instead of focusing on
And
fixing a
cameramen in the
fucking meal,
kitchen with her.
There's like she even says there's 9 cameras around me. Instead of focusing on the task at hand,
Of course.
she literally takes the time to chase this little girl out of the office and yell at her,
fantastic.
berate her, and fire her.
This oatmeal is soggy. I'm just working on my new show. I got some oatmeal.
Is that what the show's called? I got some oatmeal.
Yeah. This oatmeal is soggy.
I like the British accent.
Yeah, that's dead on.
That's what we seem. Why do we like these cunty chefs? Your bun wasn't quite bunny enough. Oh, shut up! Just if you don't like the restaurant, don't go back.
This is actually a really
I know,
play
but
Kitchen Nightmares.
Watch how she won't take it, man.
She will not. Yeah, let me
she
hear a
did
little
no
more of her.
wrong.
I love this.
It's like she directed Cop Out.
We're waiting for a mistake.
But okay, we're going to forget yesterday.
Right.
We're going to start, if we continue the show, we're going to start from scratch.
I want to forget the word
me...
show. This is not a show for me.
No, I mean, I don't know what you
This
call
is
it.
a restaurant that is in a crisis with a delusional owner that can't take criticism.
Oh,
so I'm going to tell you as it is. I met Jessica and Henry this morning, and I got told some awful things.
Listen
Like
to
what?
listen to
The way you
these
treat
figures.
staff. They have to clean cars in the middle of service because the boss wants his car cleaned.
Car.
That's true.
They make them wash their cars.
The guy goes, one time, Sammy made me wash his car.
What a couple of fucking
in the middle
pricks.
of dinner.
Oh,
And again,
wow.
he keeps all the tips. So if you tip there, not even a percentage goes back to the wait staff. He gives them, instead of giving
What
them
a
like
scumbag.
$2 an hour, he gives them $10 an hour and keeps their tips.
funny.
Fuck
Which
that,
works
though.
out some more. $10 an hour is pretty good.
I think the tips, yeah.
Well, based on the service that you see in this episode, I can't imagine the tips are very high.
Yeah.
So maybe that's actually,
And then witnessing over 50 staff being fired
He says
in that short
50.
period of time.
Really, 50 staff.
50 staff.
You're saying that I have fired 50 staff since
Both
Jessica
of you.
was here. You're saying that?
I am.
Can you prove that to me?
Here we
50
go again.
staff?
Look at your eyes.
Oh, that's
look
because you're
look
saying
how bitter
lies.
you are. Have
She
you
does
not
have
had a
crazy
turnover
eyes. They
of
get
all
real
50
wide and...
Listen to this.
She was wrong. 100 or even more than 100.
Her husband throws her under the bus
With
and goes,
100.
not a 50. It was over 100 people that she's fired in the span of a year.
There's a firing holocaust going on at that fucking restaurant.
These cats don't trust anybody, man.
Wow. And it's 2 employees at a time. It's not like they can have fired 20 people in one shot.
Right.
It's 2 at a time.
It wasn't like
so
it's
many-
Black Friday.
Wait. There's been so many firing. Somebody better call the fire department. Am I right or wrong, guys?
Wrong.
Chip. You just know how to fucking bring the whole room down. You're just like, we're having fun. And you just...
She'll take us back. Press play.
Okay.
Yeah,
This will
exactly.
save it, Jim.
That's actually worse than she told me.
Yes, it's worse, yes.
It's worse.
Because I don't think
yes,
she
it
knows.
is. It is.
I need a drink of water, excuse
drink
me.
water.
I need water.
Listen to her as she goes,
Yesterday,
"Gets
I
water."
didn't even eat or drink, and I have to drink water. Are you going to attack me for wanting to drink some water too? My God. I don't even know why we came back here. I'm going home.
She's 16-year-old girl. Dude.
Yes! That's exactly what
I
she
have
sounds
a
like.
13-year-old kid, and she doesn't even sound this immature. Where
That-
she's just like, "Oh my God, I'm just going home."
And she's like, I need water. And it's like, it was never about water. It's about, I got to get up and go home.
And she asked them to be there.
Yeah.
They want it. You should see him when he first arrives. These two are just like, oh, Chef Ramsay put
But
it here.
guarantee with her delusion, she probably thought this, like, he's going to come here and be like, I don't have to do anything. You people are fucking perfect.
You're brilliant.
You're brilliant.
Right.
This is the best food and service. And then she'd be like, this is going to be great for us because they say. And then he comes in and
he's like,
everything's wrong.
"It's
And she
bad. This is
loses her
bad."
mind.
Or she thought the suggestions would be like really banal, like you've got to put blue plates with the crab because blue plates highlight crab.
That's like the biggest thing.
He hits her recipe, like he hits her in the heart because she's the head chef. So he goes after her. He's just like, there are some things you're putting together here that no human being would ever aioli and this together. It's aioli and something he was real tight about. Why would you ever? And then he's like, hummus with red pepper. What are you out of your mind? He like attacks every one of her dishes. And even says, he press play. He says like, look, you guys, you got way too many dishes for this smaller kitchen. And he's being practical. He's like, just take some shit off. And she won't hear it, dude.
And she starts saying, it's like he's never heard of a flavor profile.
And he's a fucking chef. And she's a chef too, but he is the chef.
Been very successful. Let's get to the end of this episode.
You find out.
'Cause I know we got to get Kevin out of here. You were supposed to leave 10 minutes ago.
Was that? How does he shave.com? Back to this.
The reason that she never gets complaints is because every time a customer sends a dish back to the kitchen, they just throw the food out. They don't tell her that.
No, why would they?
They're too scared to tell her.
Yes.
There's a moment in the episode where her husband's throwing people out. They've been waiting for a pizza for over an hour. They get it. It's cold. They don't like it. They complain. He's like, you get out. Or they didn't even get their pizza. He was charging them. They didn't even get theirs. these two guys who were waiting, he started fighting with them after they're like, it's been an hour and a half. We haven't even had our pizza. We just had drinks. He's like, you get out of here. And he's like, wait, you pay. And they're like, pay? We didn't eat. And so like, you got to pay for your drinks. He's like, you call the cops. And so she's going, I'm going to the kitchen to call the cops. Then he shuts her down in a way that's real suspicious. Like, no cops, no cops.
No cops. Oh, fuck.
Amy's in the kitchen going, oh, look at these two. Where's my pizza?
She's making fun of them on camera, doing a Riri voice and stuff.
Are they on Twitter or no?
They are on Facebook.
Are they handling the criticism well?
No.
Some hackers.
They handled it so poorly that the HuffPost has had 3 top 10 stories about just their Facebook explosion.
Yeah, this whole story has gone viral. I just didn't know what it was completely about.
But they can't give them their own show. Like, that would ruin it.
Yeah, they'd over-dramatize things and get liked for them.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, please.
Here you go.
Drink some water too. My God, I don't even know why we came back here. I'm going home.
Now you're going home?
This is such nobody even is listening to me. They're gonna go by Jessica.
She's whining.
Unbelievable. These people are incredible.
She's a teenager, but she's got to be 30 so.
She's right, though.
I come here to be abused by a restaurant. I want to go home.
Just cool down. I mean,
All we've done, all that's happened is we have been attacked.
That's right.
Attacked.
Attacked.
Why are you behaving like this?
Because I'm insulted. You verbally insulted me yesterday,
That's right.
and I held my
told you
tongue
the
out of
truth.
class. I didn't tell you the truth. I didn't
Why
say
you
nasty
told
things to you.
Really?
Okay, really, I didn't really.
When I told you about the burger, you refused to listen.
You don't understand. You're judging me on you coming in here, disrupting the entire service. I've been doing this.
Disrupting?
You did disrupt us last night. How could I focus when you're
What about
on
my
my
lunch?
food? When you're standing here
What about when
talking
you
my
cooked
husband.
for me?
What about when I cooked for you?
Who disrupted you then?
Everybody. What are you talking about?
She's right.
Blaming everybody again.
I do my best so our business doesn't close because we can't find qualified people. You go get Miranda and that little Katie and Jessica. Bring them here
The only
and
reason-
let me see how they work.
won't come back
Will
in
you
here.
do that? Of course.
Do you know what? They're scared of you.
They're
and
scared
they're
of me.
embarrassed. But unfortunately, you convince yourself in your little Amy's world that everything you cook, touch, send.
I love it.
I do not.
Listen to the music,
What?
too, to be
Am I
honest.
arguing?
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, let me show you some. Can I show you reviews? Hundreds of reviews
no.
that are excellent that
Oh,
you
no.
didn't write that
Not
are
the
from real
bullies on the
customers.
internet.
No, good reviews. Real customers that have supported us for
Look at
6
the way
years.
look at the way.
You're attacking my
Look at the
business
way-
and my life. This is
I'm
all
telling
I
you the
do is
problems.
live this life every day. You're not telling me the problems. You are saying I'm delusional, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. Can we talk about what we came here to speak about?
The music is manic.
I want them to
You told me
finish
to be
what this
honest
is. I am always
about the
honest.
problems that you've had, that you cannot talk to your wife, and the issues that she can't take criticism before
knows
I
that.
met
That's
you.
fine. I have no problem saying that.
That's fine. I think you're too far gone.
Okay, then let's end the show. You think I'm too far gone? There's no hope. Yalla, yalla.
What is yalla?
Christmas. Let's
Yalla?
go home.
It's like a Middle Eastern thing.
Like YOLO?
I thought it was at first.
They can't help people that can't help themselves and cannot ever take 1 ounce of criticism.
His sum up isn't very good.
And if you're not willing to change, I'm not going to butt heads, argue, scream, whatever you want to say. But this is not normal. And it's not normal for a restaurant to go through that many staff. It's not normal for a kitchen that small to have 65 items on the menu. And it's not normal for the level of animosity that you've built inside this restaurant and outside. You have the right to run the business the way you want to run your business.
Here it is.
I have the right to do the right thing.
The right.
He was doing so
He
well.
was fucking
Terrible.
cranking.
Until the end. He became David Brent.
I have the
there.
right to do the right thing.
Yeah, no,
That
it's
was
just
it.
like he
And he
it
walked
got
out.
away from him like a salmon.
Right, right.
I'll bet you this helps, though. I'll bet you this helps her business. People
course
will
it
go.
will.
Oh,
The
it
internet
will.
comments were great because like she takes pride in her desserts and they established that from the beginning.
Oh, no.
And people just start leaving comments on Yelp and Facebook. They're just like, "Hey, you know those desserts are store bought." Fuck you! They're not store bought. You need Jesus.
Dude, She just has a suit of triggers.
Yes.
And all you have to do is blow wind in her general direction, and it lights off.
If people want more, go to Huffington Post for this.
This is.
And
I saw it on
BuzzFeed has a whole
YouTube.
thing,
YouTube.
There's a kitchen
I heard about it. I
nightmares.
just
They put up
didn't
the whole
dig in,
episode.
man.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to watch that whole
Absolutely.
episode when I get
I'm
home.
telling you, man,
You
it's
got to.
it's worth it just to watch that dude go, I am a gangster.
Hi, gangster.
To Gordon Ramsay, who's like, I didn't
Israeli
say I was
mafia.
a gangster.
He's like, fuck me, I will fuck you.
Oh, it's amazing.
All right, we got to get you out of here, Kevin. You're supposed to
Kevin.
leave a while ago. 'cause
Thank
you're doing
you
more
for
press around here.
excellent seeing
What's the
everybody.
website you
Go
were
to
looking for?
howdoesheshave.com and vote up the baby Superman baby rocket theory.
It fucking makes perfect sense
Yes.
as to why Superman can shave.
That's why I flew all the way out here, just to have people I trust and like tell
Right.
me that I'm doing the right thing.
that you're
with my
doing the
life.
right thing. But you're like the comic book expert, so like
This is all I got. Don't take this.
right?
From me.
Don't
Awesome.
fucking take
Let's
it.
give Kevin the
Bill
title.
Nye, the science guy. Stop.
Come on,
fuck outta here.
Mythbusters, you got enough.
Right,
going
come on.
Just give me this.
Well, we've had the Mythbusters
I
guys.
love the
They're
Mythbusters
good.
guys.
We've had
I like
them
all
on.
these people. They're all
But-
good.
We've had him on. Bill Nye, not so much. So fuck Bill Nye. Until he comes on this show, we don't support anything you do.
That's not very scientific, as Nye would say.
Well,
No.
yeah, that isn't.
Before I get out of here, just a quick update. I finished third draft of the Clerks 3
I
script.
heard.
120
Wow.
pages. Feeling good. Jimmy's got a part, but now I got to rewrite it because it was for a fatter Jimmy.
Oh, do I play the head clerk where I'm like, hey, put that back?
Not after that. Man. But yeah, so that's.
I'd love to.
Jimmy, would you gain the
Jimmy's
weight?
my good luck charm.
Would you gain the weight back for Kevin?
No,
Yeah, I'm like, dude, you got to go fucking De Niro for me. And put it on.
I'd be happy to. I'd be in the fucking. They'd come in and go, 5 minutes, Mr. Whatever my name is in Clark, Mr. Norton, and I would go.
I'm a star, a bright shining star.
Are we looking at Dante and Randall?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very
Oh,
good.
yes. And hopefully we'll be shooting this summer. I find out tomorrow. I'm going to show it to Bob Weinstein tomorrow and see if he's.
What happened to the hockey movie? You not doing it?
It's a TV series now. It's going to be a mini-series.
Is
Which
that-
I was just, working on that as well. Yes.
Quickie Mart's still there?
Quick Stop?
Quick Stop
In Jersey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still
They
there.
weren't. Yeah, they weren't affected.
Quickie Mart.
Yeah. Wow. Well,
You asshole.
I'm not from fucking Jersey.
You asshole.
Go fucking
We're two Long Island guys.
Yeah.
over
find
here.
yourself a dairy barn, you faggot.
Quickie Mart.
Speaking of Long Island guys, dude, how excited were you in the first round?
I'm pretty excited.
Pretty nice,
Yeah,
right?
we could have easily taken them out.
It
I
looked
think.
good. They looked
looking
real
really
good for a
good.
minute there.
But now we got to wait till next year.
Yeah. You been watching anything else now that you guys are out?
I'm going for the Bruins to win it all.
Are you?
Yeah, my heart's still up there in Boston from my years doing radio up there.
They had a nice opener against
They
the
sure
Pens,
did.
Just
I'm not watching as much
stoned
right
them.
now, but I'll pop back in, I guess.
Chicago. Whoa.
What was that?
Whoa. That's what happens when you work out? That's why I don't work out.
Right.
Who you got?
Jimmy.
Who you got winning it?
I don't know. I was going underdogs across the board after my guys got out. So I was like, the Islanders might do it. And then they went away. And these get. And then they went away.
Wow.
So right now, I don't know. I mean, I live in Los Angeles and I like the Kings, but at the same time, the Hawks are they want it so bad, it's nuts. And they've had that perfect season. It'd be nice to see them
And
go
all the
way.
teams,
Hawks and Boston.
all the teams left have won the Stanley Cup. And all
Yeah, the last four Stanley Cup winners of the finals.
Wow.
this
Isn't that-
time around.
yeah.
But
Well,
it's
that's
great. It's
kind
been
of
great
all-star,
games,
yeah.
man. Last night's game was really sweet.
And you guys don't watch basketball, huh? I'm pushing for the Pacers tonight, man.
How long are the
Well,
fucking
game
playoffs for basketball?
Game
by the way?
7 tonight.
How long are the fucking playoffs for basketball?
It's a long
This has
time.
been
The-
fucking forever.
That and hockey.
They started when my kid was born.
It's
The playoffs are still going on.
It seems like
hockey
hockey
playoffs
isn't even
and
that long.
basketball playoffs go forever.
I would say basketball longest playoff
I don't know.
than
It's
any
about the
any
same,
other
believe it
sport.
or not.
I would vote for the same shortened season next year as well.
It was
Yeah.
so much more.
I had the same
exciting.
shortened season, right?
There's
No,
nothing wrong
hockey
with
was
having
amazing
a few
Yeah,
yeah.
shorten a few less games.
We said it.
The lockout.
We have been saying that for years, but they'll never do it. 162 baseball games in this day and age is just dumb and stupid.
It seems like it's
knock
asking,
it down
it's
to
taxing
100.
a fan base an awful
I
lot.
think so. You can't get excited for a game in mid-April or fucking mid-May. Who cares?
Hey, did you see the fucking Red Sox and Yankee dugouts during that big,
With
big
the-
lightning and
that was
thunder
hilarious.
strike? They had cameras isolated on both the dugouts. The fucking players got their shit scared out of them. They're all sitting on the bench. It's raining. It's a rain delay. And they're sitting, and then you just see them go, bah! They're falling off
Like
the
they're
benches.
kids.
They jumped.
Can you find it real fast?
I guess the
Why is
lightning
everywhere?
hit
Lightning strike on
very
the field?
close, and it was very
They had
loud.
a little rain delay, and they were
they
just sitting in the dugout.
Scared the shit out. And it's like they show the one, the Red Sox dugout, and you're like, a bunch of fucking pussies. And then they show the Yankee dugout, the same exact thing.
Oh, here it is.
They were
It's on Deadspin.
falling off the fucking.
It's
yeah,
on
they show
Deadspin for
one
the
and then
people
the
out
other.
there. We'll pop it up on our Facebook page. they had to do this.
Music
Oh,
on
yeah, they're doing it. They really did. They got so scared. They're frightened.
When you think about it, man, it's just overgrown kids playing children's games. So
yeah, exactly. That's not a kid game.
They'd be like, "What is that, Mom?" It's lightning, son.
Yeah.
I usually hate when someone enhances a video, but this one works.
If you want to watch it a few times, it works.
Yeah, it works.
Where they put music under a video.
Remix?
Is that it? Just
video remix? Yeah, they usually call fucking remix or some horse shit.
That Kevin Smith on Twitter. We got to get
yes,
you
Kevin, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Once again, howdoessheshave.com. Go there and don't even look at anyone else's theories.
Because they're just stupid.
They're just dumb. Just vote for Kevin Smith.
Or leave your own. That's the fun thing. You
Oh,
go in and
man.
be like, all
right.
these famous or quasi-famous jackasses are stupid.
Right.
Here's my theory.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Kevin. Always a pleasure seeing you, buddy.